Howdy, partner! This is day 4 VBS Bible study. I'm Pastor Amber, and I'm glad you're here. This week, we're talking about the fruit of the Spirit. The closer you walk with God, the more fruit of God's Spirit you have. Today, we're talking about the spiritual fruit, self-control. Yikes! This is the hardest one! Are you excited to find out how God helps us? Me too. The important thing for you to remember today is that God helps us to stay in control of our words, our actions, and our emotions. This reminds me of a story in the Bible. It's found in 1 Samuel 24. It involves King Saul and David. King Saul was really mad at David. In fact, he was so mad he was going to kill David. David was running for his life. David was hiding and Saul was looking for him. They were looking for so long that they had to bring tents and they were camping out while they looked. In their campsite, King Saul fell asleep. David snuck into the camp very quietly, sneaky as a mouse, and he got into the tent that Saul was sleeping in. David very quietly and slowly unsheathed his sword and then cut off a piece of his cloak, part of his clothing. He could have done something really bad there, don't you think? When King Saul woke up and came out of his tent, he saw David. David was holding the piece of cloth that he had cut. And he said, "Look how close I was to you. I could have killed you. But instead of killing you, I had self-control." Saul was so ashamed that he wept. He forgave David in that moment. What do you think David felt when he was creeping into Saul's tent? I guess he probably felt kind of upset that Saul was trying to kill him. What do you think King Saul felt? He probably was angry when he wanted to kill David, and I'm guessing at the very end when he was crying, he felt sad, he felt remorseful, he felt like he did something wrong. I think he felt sorry. Is self-control helpful? Yes, it definitely was for David. Have you ever stopped yourself from doing something that you know you shouldn't do? Well, that's great. That means you had self-control in that moment. But I'm guessing self-control can be hard. I know it's hard for me. If you're feeling really angry or a lot of emotions, it can be very challenging to have self-control. So how can we get more of it? One of my favorite ways is to put your hand on your stomach, close your eyes, take a big breath, and then name whatever you're feeling. I feel really angry. Sometimes that helps us to know what's happening inside our body. And as soon as I do that, then I say, "Lord, I want to walk with you. Help me to have self-control over my anger." That helps me every time. God helps us stay in charge of our words, our actions, and our emotions. Howdy, partner. Let's practice our memory verse. May the Lord make his people strong. May the Lord bless his people with peace. Psalms 29:11. Let's do it again. May the Lord make his people strong. May the Lord bless his people with peace. Psalms 29:11. Let's say it one more time. May the Lord make his people strong. May the Lord bless his people with peace. Psalms 29:11. I want you to use your imagination. Imagine you're right here with me. And guess what I have? I have a bubble gun. I love bubbles, don't you? Imagine you're here with me and we're gonna blow a really big bubble. It's gonna be maybe the biggest bubble you've ever seen. But I don't want you to pop it. Oh my gosh, that bubble is so big. Was it hard to not reach out and pop it? I bet if you were here with me, it would be really hard not to pop it because I know I wanted to reach out and pop the bubble. Do you know what it's called when you want to do something, but you don't do it because you know you shouldn't? It's called self-control. Now this time when I blow a really big bubble, let's pop it. Oh, a couple of bubbles. Pop! I popped the bubble. It was really satisfying. It's so much fun when we have self-control to not pop the bubble, to be able to pop it when we're able to. That bubble game was a really fun exercise in self-control. This next week, as you go through your week, I want you to continue practicing self-control. You could practice self-control on the playground. You could practice it with your mom and dad, your brothers and sisters, even your grandma and grandpa. I bet sometimes you need self-control. God helps us to be in charge of our words, our actions, and our emotions. I'm Pastor Amber, and I have the fruit of the Spirit. Yeehaw! Thanks so much for joining us for this year's VBS.